with all the hype around the upcoming ID Polo and ID Cross and so on, is maybe one model forgotten here, the VW ID3. And that one gets a new extensive update, a facelift in exterior and interior with stuff that we have been waiting for a very long time. Volkswagen is going back to the roots and are also diminishing some errors they have done so far, also especially with the interior of this vehicle. And we'll take you on a tour of this one here, the updated ID3, which is now called ID3 Neo. So are we in the Matrix or not? We're also going to answer this question here today, at least I'll try to, and also see, have they done enough to make this one here fit for the future? Because, you know, it was supposed to be, so to speak, an electric Golf. Is it now finally one? We'll find out with Thomas Nautical Fuel in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with the new ID3 Neo, which now gets the front of the new ID lineup, like the ID Polo and ID Cross. So a similar design for all the model lineup. And then when you have here the Matrix LED, the IQ light, you also have the light strip that goes all the way across with the illuminated VW logo. And with the previous facelift, they already eradicated this black thing that was on top of the hood. And here they continued with this one. They want to show more body color and less black elements. So a more, let's say, like a cleaner design. Length 4.29 meters, 169 inches. And here, this was always like with the wrap and so on, with the contrast. This is now all the way in body color. You also have the roof in body color, for example. And also if we go on here to the rear, there is even more body color here, because before this trunk area here was all the way in black. And I think this is a very good choice because it shows more cleanness in the design overall. The tail lamps in here also with a modern signature, and you have the ID3 Neo lettering then here. Is this one the one? Tell me in the comments. Here you can flip the logo, by the way, to open the trunk. Soon more about the measurements and so on. As for technology, specs and so on, these here are the largest 20-inch wheels. You would start from 18-inch. And you can also optionally get the DCC, the adaptive suspension, which is an active adaptive suspension. You can also then drive in the sport mode, and then the suspension gets stiffer. This is here in contrast to the new MEB Plus family. This is the classic MEB platform. This is always rear-wheel drive, no matter in which version, which guarantees a very sporty driving experience, and that you can also turn in the front wheels, you know, very far. So it also has then good turning circles, for example. Here in the front, did they get a front now? Nah, that's not possible here because this is a very short front hood and they could just not house it in right there. This is just like for refilling some wiper fluids. As for the battery tech, with the charging flap here on the passenger side, and you start with an LFP battery, either in 50 kilowatt hours or in 58 kilowatt hours. This is a new thing that they offer LFP now. And then the big one is still the NMC. That one here is at 79 kilowatt hours, 11 kilowatt AC charging. And then we have 168 kilowatt DC charging peak. And they have not updated the the charging infrastructure in a way that it would be way quicker now. So here 29 minutes, 10 to 80% state of charge, and 26 minutes then for the smaller battery. This is probably the thing you still gotta swallow. Other than that, if you compare like the ID Cross, ID Polo and so on, this one here has the clearly larger battery. So this one is, let's say, more suitable to be a primary vehicle. You buy or lease only this one here and use it for everything, and not only like a secondary city vehicle and so on. And the WLTP figure, the official driving cycle, is over 600 kilometers. This is like when you have all the city driving and so on. But when you think, hey, the motorway range, really at normal motorway speeds, you can easily score some 400 kilometers, 250 miles plus with this one here now. Also, now probably even better because they've put new not in the front, in the rear, new electric motors, and they are supposed to be even more efficient than before. So looking forward then to test drive this one. There has been a lot of hate for the interior of the ID3, especially when it initially started. And I also shared a lot of these criticisms, and the interesting thing is that they have now extensively worked on exactly that. That is to me the most exciting part of this video to come right now. First of all, door closing sounds. Very solid. Wow, that's interesting. This one has a completely different sound in the... This one, but the front is also pretty cool. So really solid. Then inside of the doors, here this one is also soft touch with a nice structure like that. Then fabric insert. Then for the elbow could be a little bit softer. And then here we have 4 window levers right now. So you remember they had 2, and then you press 1 button for rear. And it even has this metal galvanization on top of that. Wow, so Bentley styling now for the ID3. I'm amazed. And also here, wait a minute, Leah, I'm not finished. Sorry about that. Because this is really exciting, because it's normal and we used to have that. And this knob, metal knurling around, easy to control the side mirrors. In the top, oh, look at that. Wow. We even have a fabric insert here on the bottom here. Not here, but at least on the bottom. So that's nice, wow. And a completely new steering wheel, taken from the new ID family. And then here, illuminated VW logo and real buttons at the steering wheel. Heated steering wheel, flat bottom, flat top. And here, real buttons for the cruise control. And they have actually a very good quality feedback. That's also where we carried over your feedback to Volkswagen. And then here, finally, large digital instruments in 10-inch. This is all what we've been waiting for this vehicle. And here, the integrated head restraint sport seat with some microfiber and fabric. You can also, of course, also get base fabric seats. So this is already the Ergo Active sport seat with electric control as well. The only thing in this vehicle, I mean, you have decent headroom still with 189, 602. This is also here the fixed glass roof with a shade you can apply if it's getting too hot. You can also get a fixed roof, of course. The only thing here is the seat itself is good. But in this very platform, it is, you see like my feet are relatively high, even in the front. That makes my knee here pretty high. And then I'll also lose some contact to the seat. And I have the feeling in their new platform, where we already did some interior previews and so on, they have managed that you sit a little bit more like this, you know, that the feet are a little bit lower, you know, in this new platform. And then you have also like, you know, the rest of the legs are a little bit more in contact with the seats. This they haven't managed with this platform yet, which is meanwhile quite old. But I'm very, very happy with these changes here on the interior, up and down, in and out from the steering here. And this makes a very good quality impression. Now, welcome to this new cockpit in the ID3 Neo. Have you decided yet which pill you are going to take? Yeah, this is the blue pill here definitely today. But are you maybe more fan of the red pill? Well, we'll find out. Here, the new cockpit with the 13-inch infotainment screen. And you can still control it here with a climate in the screen. Yes, the sliders are gladly gone. But the good thing is, ta-da! The real physical dials make their comeback. And we have fought for you for so long with Volkswagen to get these back. You know, turning knobs are also pretty cool, but here it's also nice to have the switches up and down, also for the fan speed. And also here, this metal galvanization of the plastic on top, that you have like a hard metal-ish finish on top of these buttons. So this is really cool. I just wondered if this vehicle would have come to the market as it is right now. It would have been a real hit. I'm quite sure of that. It was lacking all of this stuff at the, you know, first launch. Now they have finally reintroduced these features, basically. Fabric on top of the dashboard here. And then here's some design elements, soft also with the leatherette here. Glove box folds down in a smooth way. Underneath you have some more space here. And on top of that is now an updated patio with microfiber. This is an inductive charging pad, which is also cooled. Also here, metal knurled knob for the volume. The cup holders are also somewhat adaptive, and then you can also change the size of these, or you can take them completely out. And
little bit softer than for your elbow, with a nice high quality split armrest and 2 USB-C chargers underneath. So also this reorganization of the middle console is really likable indeed. Yeah, you've already seen the roof here now more in the full extent. So I really have to say this is quite rare, you know, that a facelift of the vehicle is so customized to the customer needs and what they really wanted or criticized from the car before. So this shows me that it's like a very good direction they're taking at Volkswagen right now. This one equipped, by the way, with the optional Harman kardon sound system. And then here we have to enjoy it one more time for the cruise control settings and like the thanks for the light, Liam. And then here, this clicking feedback is really good. Right side then heated steering wheel and so on. And we can also switch through these digital instruments, large, clear to read. Different views are available. Map view, for example, like this. And we also, including the main infotainment system, have the retro mode available, where you can set then everything to retro style here. Golf 1, Golf 2 inspired with the speed and the power meter here, for example. Pretty cool. I like that feature. And also in the main infotainment with the old TV look. And then the cassette deck, tape deck. It's pretty cool. And with the driving data. Yeah, I like it. Why not? But you don't have to use it, but you can. Oh. Don't stop till I get enough. Oh. Yeah, we just heard, listen to that, to the King. And here, this is the Harman Kardon sound system. And actually, it's a pretty nice sound. I like that. And actually here, this fabric here in this interior also helps for the sound atmosphere. That's a pretty cool aspect as well. Other than that, seat heating is here in the lower part. And what's also good that you have good hotkeys here to deactivate all of the stuff that might annoy you. So this is then very easily accessible over the top part here. And then you can also pair Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and this system is also finally quicker than before. So great upgrade in the infotainment. And you can also get a head-up display. Now the rear seats. This in the rear is, however, hard pack. And then here, fabric insert. And even the galvanization for the rear window lever. And wow, this is a surprise today indeed. And fabric seats then here in the rear, also with a nice red covering here. And then we have the middle cup holders. These are not adaptive though. This is a ski hatch you can use. There we go. 2 USB-C chargers on the inside. And also here, these details that they galvanize, these rear vents you can grab. And this really lifts up the quality in everyday controlling of that vehicle. Here, once again, this electric platform issue that my feet are just high, and that's why you know I have this angle here. That's the only thing you have to swallow together with the slow charging of the vehicle, or like not fast charging of the vehicle. And then here, the legroom is actually quite nice. So this was the thing again, that the exterior dimensions are Golf-alike, but the interior dimensions are already like one segment above that. So, and then here, headroom gets close, but also works still with our A9 602. And the comfort itself on the seats is good again, just that I would like, you know, more contact with the legs here and that my feet would be lower. But yeah, that's not possible here in this very platform. Till I get enough. Oh, are we rolling on it? Yeah, I'm still with Michael. So here, with the trunk, yeah, the sound system was really nice, actually. I mean, I'm usually like listening to electronic music in trance, but I also like all-time classics, you know. So then here, closing sound is also pretty good off the hatch, and then with the flipping mechanism, 385 liters of the boot of the trunk. This one still fits in vertically, and we have 1.40 meters in width. Then the length we are at 80 centimeters or 31 inches, and here underneath I can split it like this and put it up like that. Some more space, for example, for the charging cable underneath, so it's a nice split underneath here. This is nice thick dampening, you know, but there's not much more underneath than there. So we can also put this one back again, like this. There you can see this is the ski hatch. Other than that, I can uninstall this top part here. And then I also don't have to go around to fold the seats. There we go, this, and then we have the height of 26 inches or 65 centimeters, and the total length raises a little bit there, you can see, of 1 meters 57 or 62 inches. So why is this so significant today, although it's just a facelift? And there will be the
all new electric platform models coming up from the Volkswagen Group, the Cupra Raval and the ID Polo, the hatches, and the ID Cross and the Skoda Epic, the SUV body styles. And they are of course a new platform and bring new stuff and so on, but a lot of that new stuff is already then here now in the ID3 Neo now. That's the first significant thing, that this existing model also profits from the new platform things, especially on the interior. But I think the even more interesting and significant thing is that they have listened to customer feedback. That should be normal for a car company, but it is sadly not normal. Most manufacturers do not do that anymore, or not to the extent as the customers would wish. But here they finally did and concentrated again on the core values. And if you're a long-term subscriber, you might remember that, for the last 15 years, we've been covering a lot of VW models. And always when I was coming to a studio shooting and they said, Thomas, this is a pre-production model, this is the first hand-built car, don't be so hard on us. Maybe this piece, can you tell the viewers this is a pre-production piece, it will look different later. But effectively, all the cars in the even pre-production were great in the build quality already. And then came the Golf 8. I remember that, released in October 2019. And it was a shit car, I can just say that. I was coming to the studio and nothing worked with that vehicle. And in the next driving events, nothing worked. Although the base hardware was still good, but the car was just, let's say, underdeveloped, so to speak. And there were so many errors, especially with the software and so on. And they have lost so much customer trust with that vehicle. And also when they initially launched the ID3 with 2 window levers and high gloss black stuff and touch sliders and software catastrophe and everything. So from that point, I really saw Volkswagen going downwards. And before that point, when people ask me like, hey, I want like, a relatively affordable car. It's not cheap, but it should not be like premium, super expensive, and should be good in the driving and so on, and good build quality. And what should I pick? And like a Golf, a Tiguan, whatever, But then at that point, it went downwards and I couldn't really recommend it anymore as a first pick. And this is to me really a changing point where they say we listen again to the customer feedback, and we're out of this valley, and they've also fixed the Golf. The Golf is now also updated with the software and so on, and some things have been improved. And here you can see that they can improve things if they really want to, and they've really turned everything around. And that's why, although this might be just an insignificant, it's a strange word, facelift, it is huge. It is huge as a turning point for the brand, because it is paving the way for the all new electric models that are coming right now, that will get also this very interior and also this face here. I think it's a very hopeful thing to experience here today, that the small details are just right, like the galvanization of the, of the air vents and the buttons and so on. So yeah, a very hopeful episode here today after, there were so many tears lost over errors that have been done before. And that is actually, once again, a very good thing to experience here together with you. What do you think about this, and also my personal experience here with the Volkswagen brand? Tell me in the comments, because this is also a pre-production car. But look at that interior. It's perfect, from the build quality. Tell me what you think about that. And now it's time to check out more EVs that relate to this one here.